Hi Capricorn, this is Kajora Lovely with your general reading for the month of May 2019. In this reading, we're going to go over your general energy for this month and then what's going on with work, love, and money. For those of you who are curious, I am reading with the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. And if you're interested in a personal reading, you can always email me at kajoralovely@gmail.com. And all that information is in the description box below. So let's see what's going on with the sign of Capricorn for the month of May 2019. So general. And then work. Love. And money. Okay. It's gonna be an interesting month for you guys. So where you are, this kind of makes sense. Your general energy this month is the moon. This can be Pisces energy. It's also very much like you're kind of in an existential crisis. A little bit of a, what does it all mean? What is it all for? What the hell's going on? Just in general, WTF. That's sort of what it feels like. Family, finances, communication, all of that can be coming up this month. It doesn't necessarily feel bad, but it could all just be coming to the fore for you. So it could be about communication in the home, about feeling financially stable, like you've got your things together. And I feel like that's especially important because you're a Capricorn. You know, this is the earth element. This is your element. So it's very much that you want to feel like all of your ducks are in a row. Capricorn's all about the work that you do. It's about making sure that you have everything that you want, about building your resources. So it feels like at a certain point, you might want to stop and take some personal inventory and say, do I have all the resources that I need right now? Emotional, spiritual, financial, physical, emotional, with your friends, that sort of thing, and see how you feel, see what comes up, because you may have a little bit more than you think you do. And I mean, I'm not saying like you're going to have a huge fortune, more than you thought, but you may have more than you originally thought. So what's also influencing you is the Three of Pentacles. So this can usually mean collaboration, teamwork, partnership, building something that you want to last longer than yourself, like working on something that you feel is bigger than yourself. And you're also working on feeling some emotional stability and balance. This is, temperance relates to the sign of Sagittarius, but this is really like feeling like you're able to kind of merge different things within yourself and feel that balance within. So overall, it's good to know that you've got that ability to build something and you're feeling that balance. So I think that it'll be important to come back to that as far as remembering your purpose and feeling that emotional balance while other things are going on. Because in work, you're feeling a little trapped or stuck. You're feeling a little, the Eight of Swords here, you're feeling a little bit like, let's keep going, what does it all mean? What is it all for? Like you're not really where you want to be. And sometimes this can just be your thoughts that are trapping you. But I feel like you may feel that some people are out to get you or they're not treating you fairly. And I don't know if that's entirely accurate. It could be that you feel like you're not ready to move on, you're not ready to leave whatever work situation you're in, or you tried to apply for other jobs and they didn't really come. That new opportunity isn't coming, so you've got some anxiety building here. You're in your head a lot. All of these are swords, so they're all about the mental. It's all about like what's going on in your mind. And because of that, you feel like you're at a crossroads. You're at a stalemate. You're not really sure what decision to make. When I asked for clarification if they had any good news, no, of course not. You got the Daughter of Wands in reverse, which is that you're not really feeling, it's like not a creative project maybe isn't the answer. I'm going to ask again because I want to leave you with some good news when it comes to work. The main thing I would say I get from this though is Whatever this stalemate is that you're at, this Two of Swords, this usually is like you're stuck between two ideas and you're not sure which one to take. That you may need to sit and meditate some and make a decision about which path you do want to take, at least for the time being. Maybe not, maybe for the next year, maybe at least for the next 6 months. Just something to think about. Any good news for Capricorn and work? I heard yes. You're able to build stability. Well, that's something, I guess. So maybe not the best work we were hoping for, but this usually means like you're able to build a foundation for yourself. So if nothing else, you're collecting a paycheck. Hopefully. And if not, that means you will be. You will be able to work on building a foundation for yourself. That's how I take that. So, and if not, maybe focusing on that. If you're still struggling for and looking for a job or something, it's about figuring out how you can build a foundation for yourself. How can you start obtaining those resources to feel like you're supporting yourself more? So for love, you're definitely focusing on what's not there and not what is there. Usually with the Five of Cups, it's like you have blessings in life, you're just not seeing them. So there could even be a relationship there that you're not necessarily seeing. Often this is about focusing on things that didn't work out as opposed to focusing on what still exists. And overall, when it comes to love, you got 5 cards that are the number 5. 5, number 1, means change. Like if you see 555, that usually means change is coming. 5s in tarot relate to instability. So there is something when it comes to love of like not feeling stable, not feeling grounded, not feeling like things are going the way you want, because you've got this like not feeling emotionally satisfied, having a conflict with someone with the 5 of Wands here. This is a verbal conflict. You've got the Hierophant, which is major arcana. It's a little bit different, but it's still a number 5, non-traditional. So I feel like whatever it is when it comes to love, this is the only one that's like, I would say not negative, because I take this as being like, it's whatever, when it comes to love, there's something about recognizing what you're looking for is not a traditional union or match or relationship. There's something different about it. Maybe because I'm the crow, something mystical. When the lightning, something powerful, maybe for some of you. Something life-shattering, but in a good way. That makes sense. Like the game changer is coming type thing. And you've also got the 5 of Pentacles, which is feeling instability when it comes to resources, money. It could be that since this is in love, I would say feeling like you don't have the resources that you want in love, or feeling like you don't have the money you want to date, or to feel like you are worthy of love or worthy of dating, that you are capable to date. But at the same time, what's interesting in the middle of all this, of all these 5s, you got a 7 of Swords in reverse. This is also a good card to get in reverse, in my opinion, because I see this as if you've dealt with liars, cheats, thieves, people who were underhanded, maybe didn't always tell the truth, didn't always treat you well in the past. That's coming to an end. You're, sorry, I'm hearing a phrase that doesn't quite make sense. It's like your unions will be forged ahead in the future. It feels like your unions in the future are going to be different than what happened in the past. Part of it is you got to let that shit go. Let go of what didn't work out. Let go of the conflicts. Let go of your hopes or desires that it was going to be something that maybe you never really even wanted in the first place. And I would say let go of your own insecurity, especially of your past. For some reason that keeps coming up. But with this, I feel like it's not so much I feel like this relates to your feelings of self-worth when it comes to love, and whether or not you think you are lovable, worthy of love, of being loved. Yeah, that there's some kind of sadness there when you think of yourself. And so I think it's also recognizing there's some self-love that's needed in there. So be kind to yourself, be gentle to yourself, because when it comes to love, you've got a fair amount of instability coming up. But it's really about remembering, like, however this applies to you, whatever you're looking for is not going to be entirely traditional. It's not going to look the way you might have thought it would look for a really long time. It's going to look different than that now. And I feel like that's okay. It's about coming to terms with that. And so it's about accepting that that change is coming when it comes to love. There's something that's going to be shifting for the better for you, I feel. So I think that it's also about recognizing what is best for you and being honest with that. And maybe if you don't know what it is, then just sort of saying to the universe or whoever your higher powers, whoever you work with, I submit that you will bring the person who is best for me into my life. That you will make the wise decision of what is best for my personality moving forward. Something along those lines. Okay. Money. Oh, money. Okay, so first card is Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Things aren't necessarily going forward in the stable, solid way that you hope that they would. But there is some good news coming in emotionally, something that'll make you feel at least a little bit emotionally happy. It's not quite where it should be yet with the Queen of Cups in reverse. You're not quite at the level of satisfaction you're hoping for. It's baby steps. We're taking baby steps towards some happiness. Because first of all, you've got some changes coming through. So first you've got the Hanged Man, which means that you may be in a little bit of a position that you don't really want to be in financially. But this is about kind of getting a lay of the land of looking at everything closely and figuring out there's some lesson you can learn here, basically. You might be in a situation that you don't want to be in, but there's a lesson you can learn from the situation that will serve you moving forward. That's the lesson of the Hanged Man. You've also got Death in reverse. So there's some transformation that could be happening. This relates to the sign of Scorpio. So there is some change that could happen. And again, it could be related to love and your feelings of self-worth, especially around money, and your feelings of deserving love, of deserving money. Those two, often what I found in these readings when I've been with money and love is that the love and money sections aren't that different, because how we relate to love and money is fairly similar. It's about our own views of self-worth. What do you think you're worth? Do you think you're worth $5 or $1 million or $1 trillion? You know, what are you really capable of? What do you think that you can garner when it comes to relationships, but also finances? They both relate to the heart chakra, to how you feel. So I think it's also that you're beginning to feel a little bit better about yourself, but you're not really feeling fully empathic with yourself, fully feeling that love for yourself. So it could be about working on that a little bit, especially for those of you who feel like this really isn't moving forward the way that you want. You're not working toward building the finances that you want to see, because you've got this opportunity to change, to notice, like get a lay of the land and figure out what you want to shift, because you have this opportunity for transformation that you're not fully embracing, probably out of fear of change, because who's not afraid of change? Change is scary, but I feel like this could be a change for the better, because what it looks like is you don't let in this change, you get this change. This change is kind of scary. So this is the Tower, which is usually, like, I see this as an act of God taking down whatever was not meant to last. This is usually something that could not withstand the pressure of what was going to be built. So there's something that's going to be built in its place. So it's really like, do you want to transform yourself, or do you want the universe to do it for you? I mean, sometimes, having been through both personally, this can be a little bit easier in the sense of you're like, well, it all just happened, and it's easier to say like it's not really what you wanted, but I feel like there is some transformation and change that could come there. It doesn't really feel negative, honestly. It doesn't feel like something's going to come in and blow out your finances. It feels like you have an opportunity to change your relationship with money. There's some aspect of something that you can shift moving forward. And so I feel like it's an opportunity to say to your spirit guides, to the universe, whoever you work with, if there's a change coming in, especially when it comes to my finances, I ask you to have this happen in such a way, something like you realize the full influence of what's going on, but also that it happens in such a way that you can handle and that you will survive and you will land on your feet. I mean, the thing about Capricorns is you can take care of yourselves. You can always figure out how to bring in the resources to do what you need. but it's also about recognizing your worth in doing that, and that it doesn't always have to necessarily feel difficult, which for some of you could be kind of tricky. But I feel like, again, it's that overall remembering your internal emotional balance of finding that and feeling like you're remembering what you're doing, what you're here for, what you're building toward, what it is that you want to build, what's that mountain you want to climb, what is that empire you want to build, what is all of that for. I feel like that's a big part of remembering your purpose and what you're doing all this for even for yourself as you're going through this change. So this should be a very interesting month for you, Capricorn. Again, if you're interested in a personal reading, if you have any specific questions that came up, I'm more than happy to answer those. And I do readings over the phone, over Skype, and through email, where I channel the messages and write them out in an email, so you can always refer back to them. And if you're interested in a reading, again, all the information is in the description box below. So I hope you have a wonderful month of May, and I will see all of you again next month.